Hi, this is my original Thorens TD150 Mk2 deck with an SME3009 improved arm that I bought new back in early 70s. I thought it was about 1970, but apparently the arm wasn't made to 73, but I'm sure it was earlier than that. Anyway, I bought it new. I remember buying the arm by mail order from something like Hi-Fi News, and I bought the plinth with the Thorens 150 from a hi-fi shop in Guildford. I was at Guildford University the very first year that the university opened. I bought it from a hi-fi shop probably in North Lane and put the two together, and I've been using it ever since. It's had nothing broken or repaired on it, and it's played a lot of records. As you can see, I've got there's the speed switch, and the lettering's virtually rubbed off, where it goes from 33 on the left, 45 on the right, and off in the middle. It's a belt drive turntable, and this switch just moves a lever up and down inside, which moves a belt from one size pulley to another size pulley. The SME arm, originally I probably had a Shaw cartridge in it, which has gone somewhere over the years and was replaced by a Pickering. I don't know if you can see, it's a Pickering XLZ 7500S. Now this is an moving magnet cartridge, but it has a very low output, and I've struggled ever since to get a good volume out of it. Looking at the original Pickering catalogue here, for the 7500S at the top, it speaks of an output of 0.06 millivolts at 5.5 centimeters a second. Well, that seems pretty low. I think there must be a mistake. I did find online another specification sheet, and on this one it says 0.33 millivolts. Anyway, it's a very low output, and my amp, I have to turn the gain, the volume control up very loud to get a decent volume out of it. And if you forget to turn the volume back down and then put a CD or something on, it virtually blows your head off. It's really difference in volume. I tried to cure this by going to an external power preamp, and I bought the Black Cube. I think it's a special edition because it has an external power supply. Here it runs a DC to it, and it has switchable gain. Now it talks about the gain switch here being on for moving coils, because moving magnets are normally high output, but this one isn't, so I have the gain on as well. But it still doesn't provide enough gain. So I have to scratch my head a little bit about it. I looked inside the Black Cube, and it's a pretty simple circuit. There's left and right, obviously. It uses one chip called the SM3017. If you can see, if it focus on those, probably not. Why don't this thing focus? SM3017. Anyway, looking online, you can find the data sheet for the SM3017, and you find it's very low noise, low noise, and it has a very simple way of setting the gain. Just a single resistor, and they give you a little chart here which tells you what resistor to use to set the gain. Well, in the Black Cube, they've got a gain switch, as I said, and it switches from 220 ohms, and then it puts I think it puts a 22 ohm in parallel when you switch it, giving it, and it works out about 20 ohms. So I looked on the chart, and you find on the chart here, just to point it out, you've got they give you a chart 330, 100 ohms. So 220 ohms actually is about times 50 on the gain, and when it drops to 20 ohms, I worked it out, it's 500 on the gain. So it's a multiplication of 10. So that's why Black Cube have done that. You get a jump of 10. But even on that, it's not loud enough. So I decided, well, they speak of this being able to go up to a gain of 3,500. You have to be careful when you get that sort of gain, is that you've got a left and right channel. If your resistors and everything aren't perfect, you'll get too much gain in one channel than the other. Anyway, so I reckon I'll give it a go. I had some 6.8 ohm resistors and I measured them. I've got a very accurate resistance measuring device and I matched up to 6.8 ohms. And it's very easy to put them in the circuit because there's a switch already in the circuit and I can just parallel the 6.8s with the 20 ohm and you get about 5 ohm, which should give me a gain of about 2,000 when the switch is on. I thought I'll give this a go and see what it sounds like, whether it's got noise or whether it does the job. So over here you can see I've just here are the switches which give behind here are switches which select the gain and the input resistances, and that resistance there is the one that is switched in and out. So actually these 2 points are connected together, so all I have to do is put the resistor across that, my resistor 6.8 across the 20, and then I can switch it in and out to see what it's like. So I put one on the left, one on the right, but I've left the one on the right out at the moment so that I can compare on the amp the different volumes. So if I just turn this over for you, I can show you the other side. And those are the little dip switches on the other side, and there's a set for each channel, and one of them, number one, is the gain on and off. So we want it on, but we want more gain. So that is the setup. So now all I need to do is get a record, and here's with the Beatles mono. Now this is the original record I bought back in '63 when I was very young. I kept all my records, and this is the actual one I bought that year when it came out. It's still in reasonable condition considering it's been played. I put it on the turntable here. Other things that I bought in those long years ago was this little dust arm. Bought it at the same time. It's got a little brush and felt pad. Collect dust. I don't know if it does or not. My must do. It's just left some dust on the record. Other things I bought was a bib, little level bubble, years and years ago. To check that deck is level. And some really other old things I bought. Oh yeah, here's record stabilizer, press family of center spindle, free with issue 1 of new hi-fi sound. Well, I don't know what year that was, but anyway, I still got it. All it does is like helps to grips the center spindle. Actually doesn't grip very well anymore, and push the record down on the spindle. A similar thing now is this one here, this really heavy duty disc, and it's actually got a bubble in the middle, so you can actually tell if the record's flat. Here's a little autophon balance for measuring pickup weight balance, which I've had for many years. I don't even know when I got that, but it works perfectly considering that this Pickering pickup is very lightweight, and it only tracks about 1 gram. No, I put it on 125. They 1.5 gram max. And after setting the SME pickup weight here, I test it on here and it's the same, so that works. Now I'll just start this up, and now this is my workshop, so I don't have my proper hi-fi gear in here, but I do have an old amp over there. It's a Rotel, and I bought this amp new and speaker and and the tuner new back in about 85. I've used it every day virtually since, and as you can see the dirt on there where I've been turning it backwards and forwards. If you ever want to look in one of these old Rotel amps, they're all hand wired with wires, just like it was be a valve amp or something, but with transistors instead. Very, very interesting. The bulbs go. There's a bulb. I've replaced a bulb before. Another one's gone there. But very nice. Anyway, as I said, I don't have very good Mac stuff in here. Although I've got some JBL speakers under here. I've got submissions. The planar ones. I don't know if you can see them or not. It's a bit dark under there. Actually, the JBLs and the missions on each side are wired in parallel, so both on. Anyway, because this is mono, and I've got one channel boosted and one channel not boosted, we'll be able to tell the difference in the volume and whether my experiment works. And when you start this record up, you always have, because it's so heavy, the platter, you have to give it a little push just to help it go. And then you can, I can put this on, hopefully it doesn't want to stay on. Actually, I'll take that off at the moment. And then we'll put the arm on and see what happens. Okay, slow it down. Oh, that's not what you're supposed to do. I'm not going to do it again. Okay, this is the Black Cube that I've just increased the gain on so that I can run my record deck, the low output Pickering. I did try a 6.8 ohm resistors to put the gain right up, but actually that was, although it worked, it was a bit too loud compared to other sources. So I've now put in 10 ohm. I've got these 0.1% 10 ohms and put them in, and that will give me the right gain, extra gain available. The Black Cube is I tested it with the 6.8 ohms, a really high gain, and the background noise was very low, even with the extra gain, so that was good. There's no hum, and the hiss floor was very, very low. So and the sound channel balance was excellent. There was no once, even with those extra high gain, there was no extra problem with the volume being different from channel to channel, but just a bit too high. Okay, I'm just fitting the Black Cube that I've modified to increase the gain back into the Thorens deck. As you can see in the plinth, there's enough room, so I've put some Velcro on the bottom of this and on the base of the his fiberboard original base that it came with, and then I can just put that down on the on there, and it sticks nicely. I made up this little custom lead that goes into the base of the SME arm using the original connector, which is like a little 4-pin connector with it's got an earth as well, so I've connected the earth through to here. I've put in all this special sound deadening material because the deck is pretty lively as standard. And I've put some other little things in, these little rubber rings. These are the original supports here, which have little foam in them and springs that the whole deck is suspended. You've got the little motor here, some little capacitors, and that's just to keep the noise off the motor. Got a tiny little tag strip here. I modified the earth on this. The earth was actually connected to the arm, which I didn't think was a good idea, so I've earthed the deck separately and the arm separately, and the arm floats and is not actually connected to the metalwork on the deck. So the earth of the arm can go to the amp, and the earth, the mains earth, all the rest of this is earthed to the mains, and they get no hum loops. Also stuck all the sound deadening in everywhere. Might as well while I was doing it. So I'll got the I cut a couple of slots here just to get the wires out, and I've still got the original screws that fits into the little groove here, and little screws all the way around, and the mains goes out there, and then I'll screw that back together and just finish it off. There's the Pickering just get the focus, the Pickering there, XLZ 7500S. That's hard to focus with this thing. Let me move back a bit. No, it won't focus any closer. But anyway, the sound is fantastic, so I'll continue sorting this out. Okay, here's the hi-fi deck that I've modified the Black Cube amplifier for the very low output Pickering cartridge. The Black Cube, I've upped the gain by quite a bit over the original maximum gain it was achievable, so I can get a comparable volume with CDs. So here's a quick demo using an LP and a CD. Chosen this Robin Trower British size. I've got the LP and the CD loaded. I'm going to play the first track, and just a short bit because YouTube pick up music, recorded music, and tell you that you can't use it. So if it's not too long, maybe they won't notice with any luck. So just start it up. It needs a little push to get it going. It's just a belt drive. I'll get it going, and I'll be able to switch between this and the CD. It's on quite loud, so I won't be doing any talking. Can I get in the disc? Here we go. So there you go. It's at this track, LP is actually louder than the CD, but some CDs are louder than the LPs, depends how they've been cut. So that's a quick demo. Everything's working fantastically well, and the sound is just brilliant. So I can listen to my hi-fi now. Everything's sorted.